night, everybody. I pray you are all doing well. This is the Light in This Dark World YouTube channel, and today we are going to make a video on what happened around November 2017. There was a lot of media covering this story, and James Lee and D, the Vigilant Christian, InfoWars was covering, and multiple, a lot of people were covering on this story. There was drag queens reading children's books to little children, and it just all went crazy, and it's just unbelievable. And there was drag queens shaking their butts in front of little kids, and yeah. Now let's start off with James Lee and D's opinion on this matter. I'll just give a bit of the video. Here it is.
Hey guys, Shalom Philia family. So I've been getting lots of messages from you guys about this for the last couple weeks, and I've been sitting on it for a few days, praying on it for a few days, and I want you to excuse my voice. I'm having a bit of a reaction to a couple environmental things going on. But I wanted to talk about it. It's the Drag Queen Story Hour. So pretty much what's going on is they are bringing drag queens into libraries, and now they're bringing them into mommy and me groups and into yoga studios and things like that for the drag queen to read a story to children. Now in the videos I saw kids everywhere from really young, like the 1-2-year-old age, up to about 12 years old. A lot of preschool age kids, and they're not just, most of these things I noticed, they're not just reading them normal books, they're reading them books that have to do with this gender fluidity, or about being homosexual, or about being trans this, or just about the skewed identity. So they're bringing drag queens in to do story time with the kids, and while they're reading them the story, and then they do kind of some song and dance a little bit with them. This one video that I saw, they were doing this, the hands on the drag queen, the hips on the drag queen, swishy swishy thing.
Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up? Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up? Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up?
Little Miss Hot Mess,
Who is ready for a story?
is the host of Drag Queen Story Hour.
This one is called Worm Loves Worm.
Talking, singing, and reading.
We can both be grooms. We can both be grooms. We can both be grooms.
To an audience of preschoolers, toddlers, and their caregivers.
The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. It was great. So much energy. Did you like it? Yeah.
Now I'm 31, so I'm not old, and I'm not really young, but it wasn't that long ago that I was in some library groups, and I remember puppet shows, I remember story time. I don't ever remember grown men with lots of makeup and wigs on and bras and dresses swishing their hips and talking to me about how I could be a boy. I don't recall that at my story time at my library. I would like to give you guys some of the names of some of the men who have been coming in as the drag queens to do the story time. These are some of their names.
Now that was James and Lee D's opinion on what happened at Michelle Obama's library. Now, the whole drag queen thing, reading books to little kids, it's actually confusing the kids, like what she said. You can watch the rest of it. There's a link in the description below. Now let's go on to the Vigilant Christian's opinion on this situation.
Hey Faith family, it's Brother Mario, the Vigilant Christian. I pray you guys are having a wonderful day. I wanted to go ahead and make this video because I believe this is very, very important to warn my brothers and sisters in the Lord, especially those of you who are raising young kids today in this wicked, godless, perverse generation. This is an image that I'm sure you're shocked by. I mean, I was when I seen it, of Zoshi Moshi, I don't know if I just said that right, actually being given an opportunity to read children's book to children at the Michelle Obama Library. So this is the image taken, and I'll go ahead and read the caption that he posted here to his Instagram. I got to read to the children today, and it was one of the best experiences I've been given as a drag queen. It's so important to have representation and normalize all the letters in LGBTQIA+. They're just going to put plus there because we know it's just going to be endless in everyday lives. I saw so many excited faces. It filled my heart with so much joy and hope to come back again soon. Thanks again to everybody who made this opportunity a reality and make such a successful LGBT event. So now, first of all, I just want to point out, I am in no way attacking this individual personally. What I believe is the Bible, and the Bible very clearly says that all humans are fallen. We all have adopted the sin nature of Adam, and because of that, we're all broken. So I'm not singling this individual out to just persecute him. In fact, I see that very clearly he is spiritually blind and is dealing with a lot of spiritual confusion. In fact, I pray for his salvation and that Jesus Christ would one day give him true spiritual sight and remove the blinders and allow him to hear and see what the Spirit of God says and come to salvation. But the reality is, right now, in his spiritual blind state, he's being used of Satan for an agenda that he himself is most likely guaranteed not even conscious of. Now, here are the fundamental truths that are being attacked here. We see in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 5, verse 2, it clearly says that God had created in the beginning mankind to be male and female, that we have biological genders that are different. He, in fact, wired us with chromosomes to scientifically prove this. No matter how much the transgenders or that community wants to try and twist up what gender actually means, God defined it, and he put it in the science, and he put it in the biology. Now, what we're dealing with this issue particularly is a man dressing up as a woman. They're called drag queens. Now, in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, it says that a woman shall not wear man's clothing, nor shall a man put on woman's clothing. For whosoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God. Now, I know, see, this is the thing, the Bible can sting, the truth can sting, but the truth is the truth, whether you like it or not, and we're to submit to the truth of God. Just because it can be displeasing to us, that doesn't mean we have the authority to change what God has declared in His Word.
I hope that information from the Vigilant Christian informed you about the drag queen reading kids' books to little children. Now, he had some Bible verses and this and that. Good on him. Now, for the next part of this video, if you think that the drag queen reading books to little children's bad, wait until you see the International Drag Queen Festival. The festival that was broadcasted by Alex Jones himself. I'm just gonna warn you. I am not going to put the whole audio of the video in this video. I might get a copyright strike. I do not want that. So, what I am going to do is just give you a bit of the audio and a bit of the good bits too. Here it goes.
This is a man with his genitals covered and with a boy dressed as a girl. I mean, this is unbelievable, and we all know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We all know exactly what it is. This is the exact same type of art and crap getting promoted by Tony Podesta, the brother of John Podesta, who just had his big lobbying firm shut down. Millie?
Well, what's interesting also to note is that the young drag queen boy that was there, his mothers were there alongside him, and it just goes to show that this is what happens. This is the culture, and these children are being overly sexualized. Now, if grown adults...
Camille Paglia has called it sexual abuse. She's a liberal lesbian. It is. You start trying to tell 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds that there's something else and try to put it in their head and then take them to things that give fat men pole dancing money, shaking their butts in the kids' faces. This is sick. All right, if you're radio listeners, we're going to voice over some of this play-by-play, but for TV viewers, viewer discretion is advised. This is really disturbing footage that Millie Weaver and Gavin Wentz shot at the International Drag Queen Festival here in Austin, Texas this weekend. I want to be clear, the media, every time we cover this stuff, misrepresents that we hate gay people or drag queens. That is not what's happening. I don't care if it's a bunch of heterosexuals, saying in their twerking for children, or homosexuals or whatever. The point is that this is serious sexualization of children. Some of the people there may not get that or understand it, but you've got men twerking for children that give them tips, totally inappropriate. You've got men totally naked except for glitter on their genitalia with little boys and little girls. Scroll down and show TV viewers, folks. I mean, that's just glitter. Some of the footage was so shocking you didn't show it, though they have their own YouTube channels and stream this live. They were proud of this. So this is sexualization of children. If you saw a man at the park that was on a jungle gym naked, if you saw a man at the park who had glitter on his genitalia with a wig on, and kids giving them dollars, you'd think you were in the Twilight Zone and call the police. This is crazy how under the guise of art and under the guise of tolerance, this is happening all over the Western world. It's not just the drag queens go into story time. They go, "You're going to be a drag queen, aren't you? Swish, swish, swish. Oh, thank you." And then now it's gone to men on their knees simulating sex with little kids running up, simulating it and giving them money. Millie Weaver, what gave you and Gavin the idea to go do this, and what did you think once you got there? Because I've never seen anything this extreme. And then a woman in a hijab. What about that?
Oh yeah, that was the weirdest part of all. There was a woman in a hijab there, and she was giving money to the little trans drag queen child. And
under Islam, men having sex with boys is okay. Men with men, they execute you.
That was just very confusing.
Now, Alex Jones, I've been hearing that he's controlled opposition. I wouldn't recommend to watch too much of his content because you will become a Westboro Baptist, and I do not like Westboro Baptists. Now, in summary, just the drag queens shaking their butts in front of little kids, that is just as bad as Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry doing pole dancing and all that the sick stuff, which I did cover in another video, by the way. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it, follow me on Twitter. Make sure to also follow me on my Google Plus, that's if you use Google Plus. Now, please like my Facebook page. I'm trying to change my Facebook page, by the way. Follow me on Patreon, support me on there, please, that really helps. Follow me on Daily Motions because YouTube's a sinking battleship, and follow me on YouNow. Make sure to make a YouNow. God bless you and your families. See you guys later in the next video.